U.S. attorneys are going to jail. Listen to me carefully and listen to every second of what I'm saying. This video is going to make you feel 1,000% better because they designed this to absolutely psychologically mess with the left. And you got some problems that they are messing with that nobody online is talking about. And you want to hear this here. I'm Monroe. I worked on Kamala Harris's campaign. I got 30 years marketing branding experience, and I'm going to de-psychologically mindfuck you. Okay? De-psychologically. I'm going to reverse the mindfuck. So let's get into that. And by the way, I have a clarity group. You heard of it? Click the link in my description and on my homepage. Join my group while it's on sale because the sale is ending. So here's the deal. What they're doing right now is a side mindfuck to mess with the left in a specific way that nobody's decoded. So let's decode the bullshit. All right. First of all, we got to decode the drama. We got to identify the data, and then we're going to talk about developing a better use so you understand, because we got another 171 weeks of Trump, and it's 38 weeks we're into now. Okay. But the good news is we are winning. Oh, yes, motherfucker. We are winning big. Okay. So let me break down everything that I'm talking about here and decode this mess. You see, you got to understand with these U.S. attorneys, and that's why, keep in mind, first of all, historically, I've said this since January. I think the earliest I had a video on was January, February. And I've been saying, I say, U.S. attorneys are going to jail. How do we know they're going to jail? Because the first sign that there was problems when over 10 prosecutors left the Southern District of New York, including the head of that area. When they walked out and they said, no, motherfucker, we ain't messing with this. That was a big sign right there. That was a sign right there. When you saw the weird shit going on with Eric Adams and how all of a sudden Elon Musk's lawyer, and who's the same lawyer for Eric Adams, had a conversation saying, listen, we'll make this immigration thing easier on you in New York if you just help us out. We'll make sure you get out. And it happened. And in the same day, you had Elon Musk through Doge freezing the assets illegally that were freezing. He froze the assets that were set aside for migrants' homes so they could stay somewhere in New York. That was so illegal, that was ridiculous. And then 10 U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern Districts in New York ran up out of there. Oh, that was the sign. That was the beginning. Now you've had recently the U.S. Attorney for Virginia, first time ever, resign, saying he does not have anything on the U.S. Attorney in New York, Letitia James. And I know that freaked out a lot of people. Oh, my God, they're going after Letitia James. And I was like, calm down. I had to calm down people in the clarity group. Oh, my God, last week was crazy because they were a little freaked out. And I was like, listen, they ain't going after this woman. It ain't happening. First of all, she got a Biden judge. Let's start off there. Second of all, unless that judge is on the tape, there's no way in the world that he or she is backing that up. Here's the other thing you need to understand. He's going after people with these weak ass attacks. And this is a man who's probably had about several little mini strokes. And he ain't the same. He ain't got it together. He wasn't, not to say he had it together before, but he ain't got it together. And they're dealing with this man. And I'm trying to tell y'all right now, what we're dealing with right now is a breakdown of the Trump administration, and other U.S. attorneys are going to jail. Remember when they fired the lady? They fired a lady who was following the judge's rules out of the U.S. Attorney's office. And she was telling ICE, listen, follow the judge's rules. I believe she was in the local area a prosecutor from either Sacramento or San Diego, one of the two. And I'm over in Chicago, so they're both the same town to me. I'm sorry, Sacramento, San Diego people. I said it. Just like probably Chicago and Milwaukee is the same to you. Whatever, man. Anyway, she got fired for telling ICE to follow the judge's rules. They are breaking laws left and right. And here's the problem with the left. The left is so ignorant of the history, operation, and laws of our government that they believe he's getting away with it, and he's not listening to judges. The truth is, he's listening very much to judges. Why? Because if he doesn't, his staff gets fucked. Facts. In other words, if he don't listen to the judges, then all of a sudden people lose their licenses, their jobs, and maybe even their freedom, falling in contempt. And yeah, they could hit them with contempt and take their license by law. He knows it. He's playing the immunity part. How do we know that? Because we watched Obama. And the press went to him and said, wait a minute, you're going after Obama, but Obama has the same immunity you fought to get. He said, yeah, but his people don't. Now, the first group of people who should have heard that should have been the people working with Trump. He has a history from the first term of putting people in jail. U.S. attorneys are going to jail. There are people who are breaking that law, and they know they are. And only the deep radicalized ones are. Pam Bondi going to jail, y'all. Pam, let me just cut to the case. I know it's been 6 minutes. Pam Bondi going to jail, y'all. But she won't be alone. She gonna be resigning. She gonna lose her law's license, and at the very least, but at the extreme, she going to jail. What's she going to jail for, Darren? Is it the election? Nope. Nope, that ain't gonna be it. There are 8 different types of investigations happening on this administration. You want to find out what the 8 are? All you got to do is get in my Clarity group. Click the link in the description and on the homepage and join. It's on sale right now. But here's the thing I will tell you. I'll tell you 3 of them, the top 3. The top 3 are Elon and Doge, deportations, and grifting. There's so much grifting. Man, oh my God, so many conflicts of interest is ridiculous. And here's the thing, that there's so much arrogance right now in this administration is going to be their downfall. There's going to be so many hearings, so many investigations, a ton of civil suits. It's going to be so ugly. And here's the first group of people, even before the U.S. attorneys, that are going to jail. ICE. ICE going to jail, y'all. We have now thousands of videos of ICE mistreating and mishandling people, which is against the law. And even though the Trump administration, that's what I mean, leftists, when I say HOL, the history, operation, and laws of our government, they say, well, he's getting away with it. No, bitch, he's not. He's not. He's not. Let me tell you why I know he's not. The interesting part about our government, again, the history of our government, operation of our government, laws of our government, here's the history. One group that grabs the branches, whether it be mainly the Congress and executive branch, they're not going to hold it forever. But he's going to stop elections. No, he's not. Everybody sees him. So you don't even know who's on our side. Some of you, who are the 3 groups on our side? Those of you who've been here, you already know. 23 governors, attorney generals, hundreds of nonprofits everywhere from the NAACP, ACLU, Indivisible.org, NoKings.org, and hundreds and hundreds of them across the nation. And they've been fighting and winning. And then the third group has been the people holding down the law, the lower courts, which count for 99% of the court cases. Why are you freaking out over that? When they went after Letitia James, they're going after her in the lower courts. 99% of the cases are lower courts. And he's been losing. According to Forbes, as of, July, he's lost 60% of lower court cases. In May alone, he lost over 90%. In May. Out of the temporary, permanent, state and national injunctions, as well as cases in the last 38 weeks, out of almost 200 of them, of all of these things, he's lost over 150. He is not winning. And the U.S. attorneys are the ones who will fall by the wayside of that. That's where they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. Big. And you got to understand, even though the Republicans control it now, they won't control it forever. And here's the thing that needs to happen with the Democrats. Let's go there. Let's talk about the gangster shit. when these motherfuckers fall out of the government, the Democrats need the balls, and we know they hadn't had it until recently, in the Congress, in the 23 governors and attorney generals they have. They're the ones who've been holding it down. They kept us from losing trillions over the last 38 weeks. They tried to shut down Medicaid. Remember the first 2 weeks? Those 23 governors and attorney generals leaped all over that ass. I'm trying to tell you, when we get back into power, we need to get gangster about turning everything back. Put in the comments, turn it back. Turn it back. Turn it back. Because that's what we need to be doing. Put in the comments, turn it back. Because we need to say we turning this around. Boom. Nope, we ain't doing this neither. Boom. Fuck you, GOP. Boom. We don't need we're going to follow the law and run the button. No, fuck that. Just like with this gerrymandering. They sitting there doing this shit and they're tearing everything down. Fuck you, bitch. We got to do that. This is the first time in history you ever heard the Democrats talking about, yeah, shut down. And we were all on that same page months ago, but Schumer wasn't. Schumer wasn't in alignment with his base. He didn't realize what was going on. Jeffrey was, but Schumer wasn't. He didn't get the memo. He didn't read the room. Fuck yeah, shut it down. This motherfucker taking all that shit. The shit that's happening right now with ICE in the midst of the shutdown is because of Schumer. It's his fault. If he held the line, they wouldn't even got that money to be funded to fuck people up. Remember that, New York. Remember that when it comes voting time. Remember that. This man's 1 foot in the grave anyway. Get him out. U.S. attorneys are going down. This is the first time you've ever seen U.S. attorneys versus U.S. attorneys like this. And Trump's trying to turn them against our allies out of those 23. But here's what he hasn't figured out of these U.S. attorneys. You went after one. The other 22 ain't making the same noise as Letitia, because Letitia was the only one who was kicking your ass and you trying to get back. But here's the thing. The other 22, like mine, Kwame Raoul, here in Illinois, they're quietly sitting there with that investigation. Oh, there are thousands of investigators, everybody. Some working under the U.S. Attorney's Office for Democrats, some who are working independently, who were retired, who came back, working as consultants, who are being financed by wealthy people. Yes, and there are 5 different types of civil wars, one of which is with the wealthy. And I don't mean the wealthy versus the poor and backing Trump. Do you realize out of the 900 billionaires, 22 millionaires, 22 million millionaires, not all of them are on Trump's side. In fact, I would say even most of them. See, when you're wealthy, you make your money either way. The taxes, you make your money either way. You got options. Let's put it like that. You got options when you have money. So not all of them are getting that tax break tax deal. No. He's trying to make it look like he's helping them, and he is helping them, but he's not. There are people who got bigger problems than getting tax breaks right now. The wealthy. They do. Because he's fucking up the government, fucking up you saw how the stock went down. It was a major dip. There's a lot of stuff going wrong. And we're on the cusp of a recession if we're not already there. Oh no. Attorney generals are going to jail. Several. You watch. Stay cool. Get in my group and understand really what's going on, okay? Get in my group. Link in the description and in the bio. You'll see it. You can see it on my homepage and see it in the description of this video.